It's Super Bowl or bust. That's the goal every year. And you can't get to the Super Bowl if you can't get to in the playoffs. So that's been huge for us. It's Super Bowl or bust. That's the key part of that quote here. Bring back the guys. Lewis, what do you think? Is Arians right? Is it really Super Bowl or bust for the Bucs?
Yeah, I believe it is. Look, Tom Brady at this point in his career is not someone who you're looking at as a 3, 4, 5-year project type of situation where you have that amount of time in order to get a culture and a football team turned around and headed in the direction of Super Bowl contention. This was something that his acquisition, his signing down there, in addition to all the other acquisitions that they had to make as far as fortifying the offensive line with the drafting of Tristan Wirfs in the first round to play right tackle, the bringing in of Rob Gronkowski, the late season acquisition of Antonio Brown. These are all things that, combined with the fact that they had a young defense that was on the come in 2019, has had its ups and downs, but has a lot of big-time explosive playmakers on the defensive side, on that side of the ball. All that coming together equaled, look, they wanted to challenge for a division title, which they weren't able to win. One goes ahead and captures that. But this is still one of these situations where it is still about getting to the big game there in their home stadium. Otherwise, what was the point of Tom going down there? What was the point of them kind of building this roster in this way? Of course, they're looking to the future as well with some of the young players. But for 2020, it was about getting to the big game. And if they don't get there, there's no question this is a letdown for this organization and this football team.
Nick, what do you think?
I mean, I agreed with and disagreed with what Arians was saying, because obviously for the Pats, it's Super Bowl or bust for all the reasons that Lewis just laid out. But it's not true that for every season, for every team, for every season, that it's Super Bowl or bust. I think he was trying to soften it a bit there. We just came off a segment where we're talking about the Browns. This is an overwhelming success for the Browns, especially if they get into the playoffs. The Bucs situation is different. All those guys that came in, you have a 43-year-old quarterback. You are not putting all this together, and I promise you that Bruce Arians was not interested in bringing in AB unless somebody said, look, this is going to help us win the Super Bowl. I guarantee you that's the pitch that made Bruce Arians comfortable with bringing AB back into a team that he's on.
Schefter, weigh in.
Well, a couple things. I think Lewis touched on it. This is a chance to make history. No team ever has played a Super Bowl in its home stadium as Tampa has the chance to do, whether it can get done. And when you ask whether this is Super Bowl or bust, let's make this very simple. Any season that Tom Brady plays now for a team is Super Bowl or bust. That's it. That's the deal. Because for all we know, this is it. Again, he's given no indication that this is his last season, but any one of these years could be his last year. So as long as Tom Brady is your quarterback, that year is Super Bowl or bust. And if he comes back next year will be Super Bowl and bust. And if he comes back the year after, it'll be Super Bowl and bust then. Every year Tom Brady is your quarterback is Super Bowl or bust.
So, Schefter, let me ask you this. What is, you're talking about every year being Super Bowl or bust. What is the shelf life of this team? If they don't get it done this year, if they don't get it done next year, how long do they try to run this back?
To me, the shelf life is as long as Tom Brady is playing quarterback, because he's still playing at a high level, and there's still a tremendous amount of talent all around him. And as long as Tom Brady's there, talent is going to want to go to Tampa to join him. As long as he keeps playing and keeps playing at the level he's at, that's how long the shelf life is. It might be another 2 years. Look, he signed a 2-year contract to begin with. So the only thing that we know for sure is that he gets and they get 2 years of each other, this year and next year. Then if you want to talk about the expiration of shelf life, the milk going bad, the food in the refrigerator smelling, whatever you want, Ryan, that all is in play at that point in time. But right now, it's this season and next season, and we go from there.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.